Do you think that this is closing the Super Bowl window for the Detroit Lions right now to lose 2 coordinators? And they also lost Terrell Williams, the guy who they were going to promote to defensive coordinator, because I believe he was a DC for Vrabel back in the day in Tennessee. So that's 3.
Ben Johnson's going to take the O-line coach too.
Oh, yeah? Depleting the staff.
Yeah, but look, what do they always say? It's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown still in that locker room. Jameson Williams still in that locker room. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, offensive line, Sam Laporta.
But here's the thing. A lot of people thought Jared Goff was washed when he got traded to Detroit. And you could say that Ben Johnson kind of resurrected his career. So I think that I'm not really worried from a defensive standpoint because they just played the majority of the season without Aiden Hutchinson, and they just kept rolling. And they were decimated. They had 18 guys on IR at the end of the season.
So many injuries.
So I just think that as far as their defense goes, I believe in the Jimmys and Joes. But as far as the X's and O's offensively and what they were able to do with Ben Johnson, I just don't know if they can. I don't know if this is going to be a real test for Goff to see if they're going to be moving on from Goff after. Like, this is like his prove it year to where, is this you or is this Ben Johnson? Or we'll see, because they got Hendon Hooker waiting in the wings. He's finally healed up from his blown out knee from his last year in college. And I don't know. It's like if he's not getting it done next year, maybe we'll see a quick leash or a trade or something. But he definitely deserves an opportunity to go and prove it, because what he's been doing in Detroit with Ben Johnson's been amazing. But I do think that Johnson is kind of the secret source for Campbell's success, and I'm interested in looking what's going to happen moving forward with the Lions.
Yeah, and I just think there's too much talent on that offense. Like I said,
Jahmyr Gibbs ain't getting no slower.
No, and
Jameson Williams ain't getting no slower. Yeah.
So Sam Laporta is still a monster. Yeah. I mean, look, David Montgomery's going to pound a rock. Amon-Ra is consistent as it gets.
And we're not even talking about the offensive line.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell is outside of Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in football, because these guys would really be left tackles, but you just plug and play. Whenever you're a good drafting team, you draft the best guy on the board and you plug them into the offensive line, and they work out.
And then the culture, man. Dan Campbell has his culture. He's going to go get somebody else.
Anybody who bites kneecaps off.
Yeah. Let's go. So I mean, I think their window is still open. They have a good 2-3 years of contending.
It's like half open. You know what I'm saying? You can get a breeze.
Is it closing a little bit? Maybe.
My big ass ain't getting through that window.
I'm with you. Aaron
I could probably slide the keys through the window.
Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are huge losses. I'm not going to say that they're not. I just trust the talent on that team more than I think you can find somebody to come in and coach and call some plays.
Yeah, and I was honestly thinking that if they were to lose Aaron Glenn, then Dennis Allen would end up being that guy, but he ended up taking the DC job in Chicago. So Ben Johnson has a former head coach underneath him, which is always a good thing for a new young head coach to do. Have a guy who's been there, been fired before. Will point you in the right direction, but it'll be interesting to see. But it's nice to see them. I want to see what he does with Caleb. It's like, and pretty much once Eberflus got let go, it was it's just the most sensible move for them to make. It's like we see this offense every 2 years. Like we have this great young quarterback to where that everybody would have drafted number one outside of me, Jaden Daniels. Yeah, it's a wait and see thing, but I'm interested to see what happens with the Bears and the Lions to where.
But that whole division. The Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, do they franchise tag?
A healthy Jordan Love, if they're able to just add like a beast to that receiving core, because don't get me wrong, the depth on that receiving core is amazing, but you ain't paying nobody in that core. You can pay one guy to be the guy.
Christian Watson tore his ACL, I believe.
Christian Watson tore his ACL.
He should be out a while.
Yeah, but Romeo Doubs, whenever they're all healthy, looks like one of the better route runners in the league. And Jaden Reed is Mr. Consistency for him. So, and, the Vikings.
Kevin O'Connell just got a contract extension.
Yeah, he got a contract extension, but somebody's going to be poaching some OC from that. I think they have what is it? They have Wade Phillips' kid is their actual offensive coordinator.
More nepotism. Man, a lot of that in the NFL.
Hey, we'll just go get Josh McCown. They ain't worried about him. He's the quarterback coach. But
that division's probably the most entertaining,
the most
division
competitive
in football. Yeah,
sure, definitely the most competitive from top to bottom. Because there was a certain point in the season where you thought Chicago might be on a run to where they could make the playoffs. The Hail Mary by Jaden Daniels changed everybody's mind.